Hi wonderful people, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Heather Salter-Purves. I'm a queer fantasy author. This is my Hearthside. I talk about my reading, writing and life journeys. Today is a Authortube tag video. Authors are weird. This consists of 10 questions, so I will be looking at my computer for them. But I would love to hear some responses from you, and I might tag some wonderful other people to participate in the tags. So let's dive on in. Do you have bizarre internet search histories? And if so, what are the weirdest ones? I do have some strange internet history searches. The one that comes back to mind is about snake venom. Because I had this science fiction fantasy short story called The Facility, and I wanted to write, they were experimenting on supernatural beings. The prompt, the idea of them like effectively milking vampires, like they milk snakes. So it was generally what colour their venom is and what, if it needs refrigeration. And another one recently I had to look up was the vascular system of a male's genitals, just about how a vampire may perform oral favours and the likelihood of commencing a feeding frenzy. So some fun, interesting things. Question 2 is, do I write people I dislike into a story as a villain or dumb people and they kill them off? I think I take parts of people that I dislike or really stupid people and write them into my books as less likable. But there is one instance I can remember that I have named someone who is just gnarly, not nice. You're not supposed to like them in one of my stories. That is the catalyst, but in the bad way for a story. So I think I'd say yes, but it's kind of the only instance I can think of. I write some in Cursed Cove. I write like the mother in that book is horrible, but I love my mum. I actually have a really good mum. Sorry, the cat came to join me. Question 3 is, does personal hygiene sometimes come second to writing? No. As someone who suffers with mental health struggles, it is something I prioritize in ensuring that I am taking care of myself. I try my... So no. I don't get so caught up. I might get so caught up that I prolong writing, but I will always ensure that hygiene is maintained. Question 4 is, do you go to baby name websites to help you name your characters? I do, in terms of finding names meaning. So if I have a character that, and I know I want them to represent a certain thing, such as Keris is blessed in Welsh for her Daffodil Queen. So I knew I wanted that, and there is a book coming up that I have the name of one of the male characters, meaning Dark Challenger. So I'm more in terms of look for baby name generators to comprehend the meaning of names, not naming a character directly. Number 5 is, do I have a list of actors and actresses who would play characters if there was a movie? Yes. I do have some in my head for Cursed Cove. So that is, I envision Atlas in that book as KJ Appa from Riverdale with the red hair, who plays Archie. There's Rachel, who I would envision being played by Maria from Shadowhunters, like the werewolf you meet. And then Zoe Dash is Delilah Nerida in that book. So yes, and I do have a few for her Daffodil Queen. So yes, I do generally, but more in terms of look like in rough ideas, but not always. Do you ever stare at strangers because they look like one of your characters? Yes. I love people watching. It is a pastime I like. Not in a creepy way. I just find watching people interact and stuff. And then there are characters in my books that have certain mannerisms. So I'm like, ooh, that's so-and-so. And then I sort of go, yes, that's what they look like. Even if I haven't got a picture clearly in my head, but I suddenly go, ha. And it helps refine things. Number 7 is, do you talk to yourself while working through scenes? And if so, where do you talk to yourself? Yes, I talk to myself. I figure out like movement to figure out stuff. I will do it in my office. I will do it while I'm walking the dog. I will do it in a cafe that I'm writing at. One of my favorite memories, it wasn't so much talking, but it was actions, and it was in a writing group, and people kind of stopped and looked at me funny, and it was whether or not someone could hold on to one side of a boat and flip their legs under and over, and they were a marine shifter, and if it would work. And it does in my mind, and the way a fish's body works. So yes, I talk and act out things to get more descriptive. So number 8 is, while writing, do you make expressions that, yes, expressions that your characters would make? Yes, that is same as question 7 is, I will do expressions, grimacing. If I'm, sneering, it's like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? Because I think it helps with showing, not telling. And then if I get stuck or I find that I'm repeating myself, I will pick up this handy dandy emotion thesaurus book. I think every writer should have one of these. If you've not got one, or at least make your local library get one, it is a very useful resource. And number 9 is, do you ever practice answering interview questions in case you make it big? No, not in the slightest. I do not practice answering questions. I do because I just want it to come across naturally, interestingly, and I think that I could string together a sentence well enough about things. But I generally do talk about my books with people in my writing groups, so in general I think I have some practice, but it's not in terms of practicing interview questions like a job interview. It's more just chatting and answering the questions that way. And number 10, the final question is, do you have a soundtrack and or playlist for your book or scenes when you're writing them? Yes, I have a writing playlist. It gets me in the mood, groovy things. I also then do have certain questions. There is a question in my character questionnaire profile maker, which is, what is your character's theme song? Because I think it just helps a lot with character building and getting into the mind of a character. And it can change from book to book, series to series. Recently, I have been watching some interviews by Rebecca Yarros, and she does it as well. And she has certain songs for each of her characters in each book, so to give the mood and the vibe. So I do. And I would love to know if you have a character theme song for your books. So they are all 10 questions for the Writers Are Weird book tag. Authors Are Weird Authortube tag. If you found any of these interesting or would like to answer them yourself, please do so down in the comments, and I will tag anyone who wants to do it. So thank you, and let's use our voices to promote positive change in the world. Thank you, and bye-bye!